But wait, what's up? Okay, what is today? Today is the Sunday the 14th, 2019, 14th of July, and that means Blackboard is back online, and we're all super happy about this. Um, so, what are we going to do now? We're going to just keep in mind all of your knowledge about the mind-body connection. I'm sure you guys are dreaming about stress and the amygdala hijack, okay? How your prefrontal cortex is sitting there regulating whether or not to fly off into a rage or to calm down. If you fly off into a rage, the HPA axis, cortisol. Um, sure, it brings up a lot of fuel, so you can be running away from a line, but you know what? Um, it's part of rumination about past deeds that you just need to let go. It's also worrying about the future, projecting into the future. That's all your left brain. How about the right brain? We're just going to live in the moment. Right now, I am living in the moment. This is awesome that I'm talking to you guys, all right, and that I'm motivating you, okay? So we need to get right into it. I want you to notice, though, that the corporate marketing pamphlet is due in 8 days. And what that means, okay, is the stuff we're developing. We're going to talk about music therapy today, okay, which is amazing. This can be part of what you're going to market in your business, in your facility, whether it is maybe you're just kind of a contract employee that delivers music therapy everywhere in the world. You could do it home to home, okay? Or maybe you're going to be running an assisted living facility and you're going to market how awesome music works, okay? With sound science behind it. Alrighty, so we're going to get into the readings and quizzes, okay? We're going to find our music therapy session, which we come on down here. And remember, we just got done with sociality, okay? So now we're doing music right here. So we're going to get into the music. Once again, I have written a paragraph here that is a real quick overview of what you need to get out of this, all right? So music as a mind-body intervention. This is a huge field. It's amazing that in medical schools, undergraduate programs, master's degrees, music therapy programs are popping up everywhere, okay? Because it works. It absolutely works, okay? So we're just going to scratch the surface, okay? We know that music is going to impact stress and mind-body outcomes, okay? It's a super active area of research. And so I throw these articles down here because I think you guys are going to be running such huge facilities someday, okay? You're going to be so involved in this someday that you're going to be running a gigantic clinical trial that may be funded by the William Gates Foundation. You just never know, okay? And so knowing where to go to how to help design the study is really important, okay? All right, what are we going to intervene on? We want to reduce stress, okay? We can use it for anxiety, depression, treatment of anxiety. That should be or depression. I'm going to change that, okay? Alzheimer care units, okay? It's been used forever for strokes, for Parkinson's, all this stuff, okay? What is the key, okay? When you look at music, unlike any other approach, it engages so many different brain areas, and it's distributed completely across the left and right side of the brains. We are left brain animals, okay? It is just this processing, taking in information, what do I do? Taking in information, what do I do? Boom, boom, very linear, just da, da, da. Whereas out here on the right side of our brains, we're just like taking in all the flavor of the world and just saying, well, that's kind of awesome. Colors, smells, and put it together with what it is I'm doing, and including different aspects of music, okay? Pitch, tone, timbre, all the different modalities that are in music, okay? Does it, generate emotion? Is it, salient for you? All that stuff, okay? As a result, you synchronize all these parts of the brain, okay? That induces plasticity, has a super positive effect. It shuts down the amygdala. That is part of the negative stress. It may increase. There's an amygdala part that can be good. So that's all right, all right? Here's an important part. we feel like we're one with people when we listen to music, okay? So this synchronization and sociality is really, really amazing, okay? And they've done studies, they've looked at 20 people, done electroencephalographic analysis, and lo and behold, all the different brain areas that are firing become synchronized across all 20 people when they're listening to the same songs. So it's really, it's this crazy connection between our brains and a bizarre aspect of sociality. And you know what I'm talking about? You'll go to a concert, complete strangers, okay, you've never met before. Once the music starts, you're high-fiving them, you're hugging them, you know. For all you guys that go to Coachella, you know what I'm talking about. I'm, a big jazz fan. Julie and I, we love Anita Baker, and we danced to her song Rapture when we got married 32 years ago. And so we went to go see Anita Baker last year at the Greek Theater. Again, I didn't know any of these people, and we were all singing together. Everybody knew the lyrics to every one of her songs. We were high-fiving, we were hugging, everybody had smiles. We were synchronized socially, okay? So it's an amazing thing. All right, so I go through each of these, so we'll look at this PDF file initially, okay? All right, it's coming up. I don't need this, and I want to look at it larger. All right, so what this article does, okay, is it goes through, it's a review article. It's only 1, 2, 3 pages long, okay? And it just documents how awesome music is, okay? It's about connecting, okay, this form of intervention to neuroscience, okay? And so they're looking at its therapeutic potential, okay? It's been used for rehabilitation in things like stroke for years, okay? It supports modifying your brain in a positive way. That's what we call neuroplasticity, when you have brain growth, okay? And anytime you learn, that's what you have going on, okay? The new studies show that the neurochemical activity involved in stress, immunity, social affiliation, reward, these are all modulated by music, okay? Alrighty, it gets down here then, and it starts talking about some of the really neat clinical things. So it goes through this, okay? Music therapy for autism, depression, schizophrenia, okay? Acquired brain injury, or a traumatic brain injury, or TBI, okay? We can also look at this in terms of neurodegenerative disorders like dementia. I'll show you a couple of examples right now. Huntington's disease, Parkinson's disease. So it's a really exciting time, okay? Again, just read this and enjoy it. You don't have to memorize any of this, okay? If you're doing your quiz, you can open this and go back and forth. You'll find the answers. And don't worry about the quizzes, okay? All right. So we have this music therapy collaboration right here with the field of neuroscience, which is amazing, okay? So, and what's cool about that is you can really get in there then and look at outcomes, dependent variables. We can look at an MRI, or a functional MRI, functional magnetic resonance image. We can look at blood cortisol. We can look at alpha amylase, which is a salivary protein that gets secreted when you're stressed out and when you have that adrenaline rush, the sympathetic nervous system, okay? So it goes down, okay? And again, it's talking about neurorehabilitation and how important this is. And this is true of anxiety and depression, okay? Along with the more degenerative diseases, okay? So it's got lots and lots and lots of uses. It goes through and it looks at individual things, okay, here. Neurologic music therapy for people that are paralyzed, stroke patients that are paralyzed, okay? And it promotes measurable beneficial changes in limb function, okay? These are just examples. We can go over here, okay? And we're looking at EEG neurofeedback, okay? We've heard it referred to as biofeedback, okay? And it's being able to use your response to music to treat things like clinical depression, okay, in the elderly. So these are all things that you can do, okay, all things that you can process, put put to use in your studies, okay? We, again, looking at anxiety and depression up here, okay? We can look at scanning if you make your collaboration, all right? This is a PET scan that looks at labels, say brain receptors, or we can just look at brain volume or functional activity in an MRI. I just want you to go out there and say, my, oh my, oh my, I see myself doing it. At the very end, this article does get in and talks about some of the stuff we've talked about a little bit, okay? Oxytocin, okay? Not only do our brains synchronize, but we have a synchronous socialization and affiliation of love for each other when we're listening to the music and we secrete oxytocin. What does that do to our cortisol levels? It goes down. Oxytocin causes a reduction in the ACTH secretion, okay? Again, this is all dictated by music, okay? Awesome. So have fun with that article. That's what I'm trying to tell you, okay? Article number 2. That was my son coming in. Article number 2. What we're going to do here is we're going to look at an actual study. And so this is chock full of stuff. I was talking to Jill the other day, pretty intense, thick stuff. Read this, and you will have it all figured out. If you want to, if you see yourself designing a study, okay, then use this as a model, okay? And that's where we're at with here, okay? So we can see how they looked at university students, okay? 55 healthy university students, awesome, okay? And what were they doing, okay? The potential stress-reducing effect of music listening in everyday life, okay? Using subjective, okay? This is your self-reporting of stress, and objective indicators of stress. These would be blood tests, okay? The blood tests, okay, what do they look like? Looked at alpha amylase. This is something that is secreted in your mouth. You secrete it when you eat, okay, but it's also secreted when you have an adrenaline rush, okay? And that's then a readout of arousal. And then we can also look at cortisol in the blood. All right, so that's what this is all about, okay? Super cool review, okay? So looking at the introduction, okay? And they're talking about use of music to target everyday life stress and its detrimental effects, okay? And here's reviews about stress reduction in music, okay? You can use this, guys. That's what I'm telling you. This is a beginning resource, okay? Looking at variables that you might consider, okay, right here when you're beginning your study, right? So we have valence. What does that mean? Valence means the meaning of the music. You like it? Is this something you like? You feel good about? Okay? Or is this something that makes you feel uneasy, that you don't like? Negative and positive. That's what valence means. In chemistry, okay, physical chemistry, when we look at positively and negatively charged ions, okay, that's their valence. You can be a positive 2 valence or a negative 2 valence. So they use that vocabulary and apply it to positive or negative feelings about the music. And you can also see whether or not it's arousing, okay, a whole different variable. Alrighty, so, so they go over their research question right here, which you can read, and then they demonstrate, clearly laid out the methods, the participants, the measures, stress and how it's measured, stress intensity, data analysis, what the music listening behavior was, because you can't just have it be different. Okay, you have to, if you're doing a study, you have to make sure all these variables are exactly the same. Okay, the only difference is going to be the outcome that you're going to measure. Okay, here's some again more methods. Okay, and then the discussion. And then discussion is, okay, how does our new study using all those methods and the readouts that we found in the bottom line that we found, how does that add to the existing knowledge in this subject? And that's what this is, okay? So this is what they sought to do. The results suggest that music listening lowered the subjective perceptive stress But only when you really wanted to relax did you lower the biological aspects. And you'll see that when you read into this article. Okay, relaxation, okay, is a super good reason, okay? And that's what that comes down to. All right, cool to have limitations, okay? So when you discuss the study, you say, while the findings are really positive, et cetera, blah, 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 when you write grants, you have to be able to say, these are the inherent limitations, I'm aware of these. Awesome, okay. Lastly, here we have the neurochemistry of music, okay? And this is just a fact finder, okay? So again, they have really these yellow tables. So this is vocabulary about some basic biology, methods, okay? The neurobiology of reward, alrighty. Again, this is a meta-analysis, so it's looking at all the different types of studies that have looked at this, okay? What they looked at, you can see here's a methodological figure. Here's the neurobiology of stress. Oh my God, you guys are experts in this stuff. Again, this is a layout of different things that can be looked at: ACTH, cortisol, norepinephrine, beta endorphin, growth hormone. He's looking at your immune system cells, natural killer cells. Remember interleukin 6. Here's your antibodies. Okay, all these different things that are looked at in this study. Okay, alrighty. And then the same deal, okay? In the meta-analysis, they look at what's going on. They talk about social affiliation. What do we see here? Oxytocin, okay? That then impacts other aspects of our brain's chemistry. And we've learned about that, okay? So we get down here and it talks about all these different things, okay? I just want you to breeze through social affiliation. Such a cool idea. That was last lecture. So I want you to just be able to kind of, on your own, put it together. And then, the concluding remarks kind of summarize everything. So don't get caught up in the details is what I'm trying to tell you. All right. So we go from there to a couple of just dynamic videos. This one right here makes my heart just soar, okay? An Alzheimer's patient and the impact that music has, okay? And then we can look up here at Dr. Lane, okay? She refers you to this area right here later on, the musictherapy.org. And I really encourage you to check this out. This is a huge program, okay? Just, go through here and find out what this association, the American Music Therapy Association, is all about, okay? Alrighty. So Dr. Lane gets in here and she talks about some experiences, and she is incredible. So she runs a therapy program for a large medical center. Okay, alrighty. So she gives you the background right here, and we're going to just kind of fast forward to some highlights here. One of the things she talks about here is for premature babies and the benefits that music therapy has had in the neonatal intensive care unit. Pretty amazing stuff. Here's the American Music Therapy Association. Okay, this center that she's the director at. So she uses it for people getting chemotherapies and other types of cancer therapies. Okay, and all right. So what I'm going to do is find another cool example here. And okay, so share some of those with you. And she's going to share one of his favorite Broadway tunes. So this guy had to have his larynx removed, secondary to cancer. Look at what it does for him. Okay, that's one example. We'll go over here. But then I'm going to leave out some words with the hope that he will fill in. Watch his mouth. He can barely communicate. He wants to talk, but he can't. Suddenly he's communicating. Is that amazing? Amazing. Anyways, I think you get the idea. Please watch this video. It's so worth it.
Allow and promote the creation.
All right. Awesome. Very cool, huh? Okay. So, same drill here. This right here shows an individual with Alzheimer's. Okay. All right. And then this is how to run a study. You don't have to look at this, okay? And again, this shows you using these methods, how they ran a study. Just go ahead and nose around. Don't get stressed out about this, okay? Awesome. Okay, now where are we, okay? From here, okay, we're going to go to our discussion board. All right, it is coming up, okay, awesome. And we scroll down, okay, and we are now right here. We just did sociality, and now we're doing music, which is the absolute natural progression in this course, okay? And I talk about this right here. We talk about oxytocin, the social bonding hormone that gets released in music, increases dopamine, okay? These reduce stress, okay? So I've given you a quick overview of the articles, and this is what we want you to talk about, right? Do the best you can, guys, all right? All right, so that is where we're at. I look forward to everything. I'm glad Blackboard's online. I look for everything you guys post in the discussion board. It's really incredible for us to read this stuff. So, and we'll see you guys next time.